Hi, this is Anthony, the editor, and I'm here to welcome you to this brand new episode from White Border Gaming. However, before we start, I wanted to remind you that the best way to show your support is by subscribing and clicking the bell icon so that you can get notifications whenever we upload a new episode. I hope you enjoy the gameplay and have a wonderful day. Hi everybody, we're going to try something different. This is basically because we are in the dinner time quarantine. Isn't that right, Thomas?
Yep.
So because
That is right.
we can't play anything or, like in person, and God knows I ain't gonna be able to convince these guys to set up cameras in their living rooms and do it that way. Instead, we're gonna do this.
That would take a lot of work.
It would take a ton of work, wouldn't it? But the big thing is basically while we play these 1v1 sort of games, in a way that I don't know how to say it, we're gonna also talk about Commander 2020, right, Thomas?
Yeah.
And how much I hate all of it. And how pessimistic I am towards it.
We also going to talk about Ikoria? Or are we going to...
Yes, we are going to talk a little bit about Ikoria too. First of all, what did you think of Ikoria? Because I go ahead.
I mean, I like the premise of it. It kind of looks like they took Monster Hunter World and just kind of made that into a set or something.
It is, but yeah, I would agree. It's got a bunch of cool creatures and stuff, but it's just going to be a bunch of really strong green stuff. And
that's what it's looking like.
So I think it's kind of cool. They're doing the weird promo thing with all of the different
and all that.
Yeah, all the different like comic book creatures and whatnot.
Godzilla, Ghidorah, Mothra. I do like that too. That's
yeah.
really...
It's weird that they're doing alternate arts and whatnot. I will say, like, that's kind of literally you have a second copy of the card that has the first name underneath it. So, like, I feel like it can get confusing, but it still is cool that, for those people that want that.
What do you think about the face commanders?
So which one do you want to talk about first? I'll talk about Cathro because that's the one I'm honestly one I'm more hyped for. Because
we can start with that one.
Yeah, that one is one where you just like I feel like you just got to self mill and then oh god I got to discard.
I feel like it could go well into your Carador deck.
Yes, I do feel like that as well, especially if you put some more like Grizzly salvage style effects and whatnot in there. Mm-hmm. I feel like you could actually get a fair bit going on that engine.
Oh.
On there. He's weirdly enough, I'm not used to Wizards printing a commander for commander that's not like super aggressively costed and pushed. Just throwing my little shade in there.
5 mana for a 3/3 and he can do that. That's pretty good.
And he buffs something else and himself. I mean his effect is really good. Oh.
Yeah, the way of putting keywords as counters is interesting. I think
it's going to get confusing though.
Yeah, it's going to get confusing if you don't use specific counters for it, but
I mean they're providing the counters, they're just kind of crappy like those brick ones.
But I think it's a good thing that they did this.
My favorite of the face commanders is going to be the Calamax the Storm Sire.
Yeah, I want to build Calamax.
Yep, I think Calamax is a fun one because you can build it two ways. You can do Voltron or you can do Spellslinger or you can do both. You know what I mean?
I ended up taking apart my Riku deck, and I think he'd be a good one to throw Riku in.
Yeah, I would probably say I can't argue with that one at all. Yeah, the Calamax seems fun. We can go to a boring one next. The Jurina Kudro. Do you want some good old Mardu beatdown? Because that's all Mardu can ever do. Oh my god.
No, it's not. You've seen my deck. My Queen Marquesa. Do not give me that.
Pillow 40 Mardu works as well. That is a valid strategy.
But you're definitely not wrong in the fact that Mardu is very beatdowny. Mardu humans will be a thing here, which doesn't seem too bad. I've looked at making black white human decks before to use some of the weird synergies from like Innistrad and whatnot. Like when I was looking at it, I was looking at stuff like a demon that each turn you got to sacrifice humans and he'll transform and bigger.
Right.
And there's one from I think M15.
What do you think of the enter the battlefield effect? The weird like
the mutate?
No, for that for the human one, Jarina Kudrow.
You're gonna have to give me a second to look at her in a minute.
When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token for each time
you
you've cast the
right?
commander. Yeah, it's
That's
the
not
commander
bad.
storm.
No, I think it's pretty good for her. Because, I mean, she just keeps bringing back more humans whenever you get her down. Giving it the +2 attack buff isn't too bad.
What do you think of Trimi the Ever Playful?
I think it's going to depend on
Mutate,
right? How many mutate cards are in there. I mean...
Keep.
Yeah. Mutate's interesting because you can put it over another creature. It almost seems like an unkind card.
Right. Well, so for instance, a fun thing you could do with Mutate that I was just ballparking, be like, oh, it's like, what could you possibly do? There's a card called Abyssal Hunter.
Okay.
It has pay a black, tap it, tap target creature, and Abyssal Hunter deals damage equal to its power to that creature. So for 4 mana, you could make this into how big is a Trimi? 6/6.
6.
And it just, go stompy on it. You know what I mean? You can do stuff like that if you want to play around with a deck that uses that ability. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't know how much there is in Sultai that actually takes advantage of that.
What? Sacrificing or?
Of like the your toughness matters kind of thing. Ones where it literally refers to its own toughness to like do something powerful. Like, I don't know how many creatures like that exist, but that's a fun, goofy way to build that rather than what everyone else is going to do, which is just like a big creature. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right. What do you think of Gavi Nestwarden?
I like her. I've always wanted to make a cycling deck, but there just haven't been the greatest things for it, and I think she'll be pretty good for it. I'd hope. I kind of wish they'd have black in there too, but
that's the Jeskai cycling one, which I think will be awesome.
Yeah, I told you I wanna build it because I've always liked cycling. I think all the new ones are pretty good. They're all unique enough, and bringing back the wedge cycle is a good thing.
Okay, companion, that whole like mechanic. We'll ignore the commander that I'm going to talk about, or the legendary creature, but companion in general. What do you think of it?
I don't hate it, but I read something that it was definitely made with standard in mind.
I would agree on that 100%.
Why the certain one is going to be banned or is banned.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So I agree that, like, I think for standard it's an interesting it's different. I will say it's very different.
Like, by themselves, I don't hate them. They're pretty good. Like, it's the problem is just the fact that you can have them outside of the game like a commander is not great.
I mean, I guess it balances yourself in the fact that
most of them you got to conform to a certain part.
Correct. Yeah. It's different. What I will say is, like, so yeah, we'll move on to the idea of like what the main topic. The reason we're talking about it is Lutri the Spell Chaser, which in and of itself is a pretty broken but fun sounding commander.
Well, I mean, if it didn't have the companion part, it would just be dual caster mage.
In your command zone, though, do we have that as of right now? I mean, Riku kind of, right? Like Riku and...
Well, Riku's one. There's the Mutant Weird that if you cast it off the top of your deck, then it does the... So we do have ways that do that, but, nothing literally quick right away.
3 mana flash. Ooh.
Like, it's not all that bad, in my opinion. Dual caster mage, they're about the same. I think Lutri has one more attack, but it's still the kind of thing where you'd save it before you do a big spell, and that's going to be pretty obvious for the most part.
Right.
I don't hate Lutri for its main ability or that ability, but
right, but it's the companion
part is garbage.
Because just think, like, if you are playing an Izzet deck, in what world would you play an Izzet deck and not run this?
If you were playing any color commander deck that could use that, you would run it 100%.
Absolutely. There'd be no reason not to, because it doesn't count towards your 100 cards, and it just sits there. And the requirement for that one is that you have no multiple copies of a card, right? So it's
which is what you're gonna have normally in Commander.
Yeah, the only time you're not is if you're doing Persistent Petitioners or the black one, right? That's it.
Oh, Rats, Petitioners.
Yeah, Rats.
Or,
or Shadowborn Apostles, right?
Yeah.
So,
aside from Lutri, the other ones that have the companion, they actually
that we've seen so far. Yeah, I think they're all totally fine.
And honestly, I could see using some of them just as the 99 as well.
The all of one permanent type sounds like it'd be a fun build around.
See, yeah, you go, enchant. Well, what is green black good for? Creatures, enchantments, possibly planeswalkers.
Exactly. Like you could build a fun deck with that. The problem with so that's the other thing too. So like this Lutri thing, there's also the huge debate going on about hybrid mana, if you didn't know, in Commander.
Oh.
So like I follow that stuff a lot on Twitter because I love the drama. But when you look at that, one of the big things that they're talking about is like, hey, like you should allow hybrid colors in both of those colors, like in Commander. Doesn't matter that they have both colors in them. Because according to like some of the creators and the designers in Magic, they say, it's not a color break. They're sharing the ability that both colors could do.
Oh, I see.
Like
Lutri's red, blue, but they're saying they should be able to use them in both red, mono
just
red,
like
and mono
any hybrid card like that. Like Manamorphose, for instance, could be used in a green or a red deck.
I see.
And the whole thing is like, if we're already
it makes a lot of cards better, but would that be for the best?
No, but even that's what I'm saying. Like, if they're saying like, oh, there's no times where it would be like an issue. But like, imagine if that was a rule and this was legal. Any deck that runs either of those, you would.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean. Any deck that runs either of those would be.
So would you? Or are we both in agreement that Lutri is kind of? I'm gonna be honest. I think the whole companion keyword is kind of
right. I'm definitely gonna use some of them as 99 and Lutri. If they didn't have it where they had to be, where banned as X or banned as whatever, then I think they could totally
ban as companion.
Yes.
I would say like. Once we see all of them, that'll be different. But there's 10 of them total. I don't believe we've seen all of them yet.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah, they announced specifically there are 10 of them, and that they are here. Let me look up Scryfall. There are 10 of them. They are all legendary creatures, so they all will be like runnable in this companion. Literally, companion just feels like a more OP partner to me.
It really is.
Yeah, so we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so half of them. Those all seem like fun build-arounds.
Like I said, Lutri's ability isn't any more broken than a rare red card.
Right, it's just the fact that you have it from turn 0 ready to go.
And outside of your deck. That I don't like.
What do you think of the cards, while we're on the topic? All the ones that like... So, Obscuring Haze is one, but where's the white one? Flawless Maneuver.
Are you talking about the ones that cast for free if you have your commander? I don't particularly like them.
I would agree. It's very similar to the force of like effects, where I don't even really like those cards too. I don't like free cards, and that's coming from someone who plays a lot of free cards. I don't think it breeds good deck building or good play. Like, it doesn't even breed like good deck playing. You know what I mean? Because like you don't have any risk to tapping out.
I don't like it. If they just reduce their cost down to the 1 pip, I think I'd be happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Since they don't, I'm not a big fan of it. The white one's definitely going to be used.
Yeah, the white one's going to be used. I don't know if have they shown any of the other. I don't believe they've shown any other colors really. Green.
Just white and green. Fog and.
Yep, green and the white.
And your creatures gain indestructible. That one's going to be really good.
The Boros, getting the best part of Boros Charm just for free for playing the game it's really good.
I mean, Boros Charm hits all permanents, but yes, it definitely.
Yeah. What about Netherborn Altar? Put a soul counter on it.
That one seems pretty cool. It's definitely going to be interesting in actual games, but
in the right deck, it is oppressive. But in most decks, I think it'll trade mana for life as your commander tax. You know what I mean? Picture Netherborn Altar with Anamatu.
Oh, I see. Yeah, there's a black creature that you pay Phyrexian mana to remove a counter from something.
Exactly. Like you can get it pretty good. But there's a lot of things that are broken with Anamatu. Like
yes, we all know that.
Yeah, we played against Adam's deck.
I don't hate Netherborn Altar, but it definitely can be abused. I'm happy that they reprinted Arcane Signet. That definitely needed it. I think we can all agree that was something that if they didn't keep under control, way out of hand.
I agree. But the problem I have is so many of these cards, and this is a big part. This is me going to go on to a rant now. Okay, is cards. I don't know how else to say it other than like whenever Wizards makes a card.
Yep.
For commander, like be it in a commander set or pushing it for commander, or specifically uses the word commander in it, it tends to be what you would often call an auto include, right?
Yes.
So like there's so many cards you already have to include, like Soul Ring, Arcane Signet. Now if you have the fast mana rocks, there's no reason not to run them. Command Tower, like there's no reason you would ever pick any other land over a Command Tower.
Yes, Command Tower is an auto-include in pretty much any non-monocolor deck.
Right, yeah, non-monocolor, yes. But like there's so many of these cards that have recently especially have been just getting better and better. And we actually, me and you had a discussion before about like tiers of commanders and how like Tatsiova and what's another one? Chulane and Corvold, where like you just do stuff and you get rewarded with card draw. You know what I mean?
It's nice that these ones don't
feel as pushed.
Impact. Yeah. I wanted to ask what you thought about the Mythos ones, the ones where it does something, but if you have the 2 additional colors put into it.
Ah, yes, the ones where if you cast it, like Mythos of Nethroi, which, by the way, my favorite artist on the planet is Seb McKinnon.
Well, it looks like you'll probably do all 5 of them.
Yeah, I love his art. I will say this is a very interesting way to push you into multiple colors, but also not make a card bad if it isn't.
Right.
I will say for Commander, it's probably not where you want to be. Because
I feel at least the black and the white one will be used because they're the better of the 4 we see right now.
Yeah, but then for like the black one, for instance, wouldn't you rather just run Vindicate or Assassin's Trophy? Like you'd rather run that.
This is a budget option, and even then, it's not that bad.
Yeah, I could see that. The Mythos of Snapdocs or whatever it is.
That one's.
If you aren't paying the red black, it's a bad card.
Right.
It is.
You're gonna run in a Mardu deck.
Yeah.
How can we throw it in Marquette?
You can't. Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm not
if you pay all the colors that you need to, it is better, but it's still one of those ones where like if they have one good artifact, one good creature, and one good enchantment, and one good planeswalker, it doesn't matter that you're getting to choose.
Well, I mean, it's the kind of card where I see it as you'd more want to run it in your play group if you have people who are playing lots of any one of those.
Right.
So if you have
Yeah.
someone playing an artifact deck, you force them down to one, or someone playing
So
token.
I would agree it's more of a meta dependent for that one.
Because I could use that against you against Tsubasa, and if I made you choose one enchantment, after you built up your board, even if I wasn't choosing it, if you had to choose it, you're still losing out on a whole lot of other good ones.
But that would be a great use case for it. But then think if I was playing my Damia deck, where the only creature I have out is Damia.
Right. That's why you gotta. Yeah. It's kind of card where you have to know your play group and the decks they're playing.
I don't like the red one, so I'm just gonna skip that one. I think
the red one's not great. No,
I don't think it's good. It's not really a commander. It's not gonna be anything in commander.
Not that one. No.
No. And then the green one.
It could work, but I don't see it.
I would not run it in my Damia deck for sure. It's not good enough for it in my opinion.
I wouldn't even run it in Mimeoplasm.
Yeah, it feels very.
Yeah, it's definitely a more budget option if you don't have many ways to do so.
Yeah, if you just need some extra recursion, I could see it as being a thing.
Right.
But if you don't, if you have anything else, I would say run those.
Yeah, they're definitely better options for
run anything else. You know what I mean?
All right, now I want to talk to you about the Apexes. Snapdax. What do you think about him?
Snapdax, Apex of the Hunt.
4 mana for 3/5 with double strike. But if you cast it for its 5 mana mutate, you can do 4 damage to creature creature planeswalker. Wow. Gain 4 life.
Can I just say right off the bat, I think mutate is weird.
It is weird. I think certain decks will be able to make use of it, like the salty-colored ones. I don't think Mardu's gonna want that too much, honestly.
Yeah. So the problem I have is with this one. Well, number one, it's an 8 swing. It's an 8. Oh, whenever it mutates. Oh, it's so weird.
See, yeah, you could put it on top of something so it could become bigger and add on its stats and everything. I think it's more of a 99 rather than a commander. I think there might be decks that could use such a thing, but
you'd have to get it to mutate so often for it to be worth it.
Right.
Because otherwise you're paying 5 mana to give something double strike, and then an 8 health isn't a lot in commander.
I think it could go in a Zergo deck where you'd want to mutate it underneath or on top of whatever Zergo.
A big beater, yeah.
I don't think it's great for commander, but I think it's still decent.
What's the other one? You got Vadrock?
Vadrock's another one, yep. That one...
Okay. I'm liking that one. Whenever this creature mutates, you may cast target non-creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. So you're giving... So the way I have to think about this is you're giving something flying in first strike.
Yep.
I'm going to ignore the stat because probably not turning something into a 3/3. You're rather something... I'll put it on a bigger body, right?
Probably.
So you put it on a bigger body that's like a 5/5 or a 6/6, whatever, and you get it flying in first strike, and you're also going to basically get a better version of Sun Titan.
It's basically a Sun Titan.
Yeah, but you get to cast it too, which is for 4 mana, that's not bad. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how often it's going to do the mutate cost, but I don't think it's too bad. I would say I would not run it as a commander. I would definitely run it in a 99 in a Jeskai deck.
The only time I could maybe see this as a commander is if you're running like a control deck where you're able to flash it out and then, counterspell something.
Okay.
But even then, that's going to be very rare.
Yeah, I would say it's not going to be a commander though. Would you agree with that?
Probably not.
Yeah, 99, but I could see it being a fun... I'm going to be honest, I might slot it in if I had a Jeskai deck, but I don't. Mm-hmm. What's the... So, Nethroi, Apex of
Death.
I will say, number one, that thing looks creepy.
It's cool, but...
Whenever this creature mutates, return any number of target creature cards with total... Ooh.
That one, I think, could be used. Even in... What's up?
I'm probably going to put this in my Carador deck because I'm pretty sure I can go infinite immediately. So
I was about to say you could probably put it in
I got to look at some power and toughness. So Safi Eric's daughter, Sun Titan, Safi, Sun Titan, and then I need a sack outlet. What's the one that mills you? I have to use the alter dementia. There it is. Oh my
Great.
god. I'm talking about, like, that sounds powerful.
On his own, I don't think he's too bad.
But, like, slot him into a deck that's built to take advantage of him?
Yeah, I don't think he's quite commander material, but
I would agree.
Definitely he'd go well in quite a few, graveyard Abzan decks.
Yeah, like in a good Abzan graveyard deck, he seems very powerful. Like,
or
he
almost any Abzan deck, as long as you've got good, powerful things to bring right back out to the battlefield.
A Luna Apex of Wishes is the last one, I believe.
Nope, there's one more after that.
Oh, well, gosh, diggity dang it.
Sultai
right,
one.
So, flying and trample.
But,
when it mutates, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land permanent. Put that card onto the battlefield.
Yeah, they already have
hand.
So, if you remember the Cycle of Dragons where they deal common damage to a player and then you pay 3 mana of a certain color?
Yeah.
They've got one in the same colors that pretty much does the same thing almost. You exile the top card of your library face down, and you can cast that card as long as it remains exiled. And you can do it without paying its mana cost. So I think Iluna could actually be commander material. Because
I would agree.
Because you could just fill your deck with super powerful things,
The problem is you have to come up with another point of it too, right? So if you are making one of these your commander, you need to, like, what amount of mutate cards do you need to have for this to be worth it?
That creature needs to mutate. So even then,
the way it works, in case you didn't know too. So, like, if you mutate something onto it, they both trigger, or it will trigger. It can be either one of those two cards.
So, okay. This one, I think, is still strong enough by itself.
Correct, yeah. I mean, but, like, you're just going to be casting it for the 5 mana and then 7 mana, so I'm like...
Let me just brainstorm an extra turn spell to the top of my deck, mutate out Iluna, and take an extra turn.
Yeah, I see that. I see that.
Like,
but it's just like, is that a repeatable?
Iluna's, I mean, if you fill your deck with enough decent stuff, and you can have some control over what you're gonna
put on the top
exile, then yeah. Oh, it's got to be a permanent, so you can't quite do an extra turn spell, but
right, you could do. I mean, that's Eldrazi.
Let me just drop out. Yes, Eldrazi, Karn, Ugin. I think it's still strong enough to be of use. There's one more.
Yeah, that's right.
Apex of Forever.
What is it called?
You can cast it from its graveyard using its mutate ability. It's a 6/6 with trample.
See, that one I think it's in the wrong colors, but like it's in the wrong colors for me to want to build it the way I would want to. Because the way I would use it is basically, number one, this cheats commander tax.
Yes.
This one wholeheartedly cheats commander tax.
Of course.
In a similar way to, like, Carador does, where, like, it just doesn't matter anymore, or you know what I mean? Like, it just cheats it.
Right.
And for you for 5 mana to, no matter what, always be able to say, like, oh, that flying, 1/1, I'm gonna turn into a 6/6 with trample, like, because it keeps both of their abilities. But
it's definitely one you throw in Itrimi the Ever Playful, because there's no reason not to just have this thing pump up other stuff and then you can do something with it.
Oh yeah, like, I can definitely see those two playing well together. I think being able to just keep recasting a big trampler from your graveyard is going to be like, even because you just have any creature on even a token. and you've created a 6/6 trampler,
right?
And it will just be a constant threat. I mean, it's I will say it's not, like, competitively threatening, because, like, any table that runs, like, real answers like Path or Sword or anything like that will be fine. But if you go to, like, the game shop and play that against those people that are, like, against a low level deck, it's a battle cruiser card that they'll just not be able to handle.
Right. And honestly, you could probably run it as the commander for such a deck.
Yeah, I mean, heck, there was when I went to the game shop with Adam and Henry, there was a Hogak commander deck. It was nothing more than, it was literally just black green good stuff with a little bit of graveyard mixed in, and he killed his whole pod because they were all playing like battle cruiser decks with like big threats but no answers, and he was playing Hogak, and he just could keep bringing back an 8/8 trampler that dealt commander damage. Like they literally one by one he just killed them all.
That's funny.
But you think, the same thing could happen with this other card that we're talking about.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Because
that's why you should always run answers.
And then before we totally go, I wanted to ask you what you thought about the two planeswalkers.
Oh, Vivian and Luca? Vivian is good.
I think so too.
I wouldn't say so in Commander. I would say so in Constructed and Standard. I feel like she's going to do very well, but I don't play too much Standard. But
she might be good in big green deck.
I don't know.
They're hard to say.
I look at it in Commander as I'm going to invest 5 mana into Vivian, and I'll maybe get to play the top card of my library.
That's meh. I mean, there are plenty of creatures already that do give you the possibility to do that, and they're all okay.
Right. Well, wouldn't I rather just draw a card?
Mostly, I think you care about
the -2.
About her abilities, like the +1 to give the to create a beast. That's pretty good because you can give it reach if you're fighting against someone with flying, or you just give it one of the other 2 counters to press them, put some pressure. And then the -2 is definitely good.
The -2, giving your creature cascade basically, is not bad.
Let me throw out an ooze and then find my Llanowar elves.
Yeah, not bad at all. I do like the way that they are moving red for how they do card draw.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just straight card draw, it's the idea of like you can temporarily play it.
His +1's not too bad, but his -2 is really good.
Yep.
Because you could just exile a token and then drop an Ulamog.
Oh yeah, especially if you build it right.
Of course. And then
like,
his -7 is not bad.
You know what we need to do? We need to play a game of Brawl on Arena. Because like Luca, for example, I would definitely say like I could build a mono red Luca like Brawl deck.
Right.
And build it so that like I've got a guaranteed hit. I don't know what the biggest red creature is, but I'm pretty sure there's a dragon with double strike, I thought.
There is.
Yeah. See, there you go.
But I mean, just look. They're one of the new red creatures coming. Legendary dinosaur turtle. A bunch of cycling stuff. But he's an 8/8 with trample and haste.
There you go. If you 5 mana play this, exile a token like you said, and just be like, hey,
drop an 8/8 with trample and haste. All right, let's go hit somebody.
And then it gets answered, and you're just out of luck. But that's the whole. That's my deck.
Well,
building.
That's something else. That's
all right. But we ran a little bit long.
Yep,
I'm gonna edit this all up, but I do want to say if anyone wants to see more of this style where we talk a little bit, where me and Thomas kind of argue because our play styles are very different, don't be afraid to let us know.